All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking football, doing another draft film breakdown. We're doing a matchup today brought to you by SeatGeek, and it's Penn State wide receiver Jahan Dotson versus Auburn cornerback Roger McCreary, which I think is a very interesting matchup because I think it's two players who may have to change positions in the NFL and say, oh, they're going to change from wide receiver and corner. No. I think both these guys might have to move inside. Jahan Dawson to the slot, and then McCreary to the nickel corner, even though I do think McCreary could have success at the outside, but would be an outlier because of his arm length. His arm length is very short, 28, I think, and 3/4 inch. I should have wrote that down before. And you just don't see guys be successful, especially with his press man style on the outside. So I can see a team moving him inside, even though I do think it's not the craziest thing in the world to leave him out there. And then Jahan Dotson, who I think is a dog at wide receiver, just a playmaker. But I think with some of his issues, being able to, stack wide receivers on the outside, deal with press, he may have to move to the slot. So a very interesting matchup where I think both got wins in this matchup. So again, like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Check out the other film breakdowns, and let's get into it. So we got our first rep. We're going, we got off coverage down here, Dotson versus McCreary. This is not one of much consequence. This looks like a clear out. I mean, the QB's eyes are over here. This just looks like a clear out. We're clearing space out. As you can see, Dotson's jogging by the end of this route. But McCreary playing off. Sometimes I think he gives a little too much cushion when he's playing off, but he's better, set press man, and we'll see that lineup show up in other reps. But at the end of the day, that route, that play is inconsequential. Next one, I got these wide receiver and the tight end stacked down here, and this is where McCreary is at his best. So you get a target on a go ball. Could keep his hips a little more square. But with that outside release of Dotson, gets those hands, gets those arms on him, forcing him outside, and now we're running with him. We've got eyes on him. If this route breaks off on a speed owl or if he turns it into a curl, we got eyes on him. We're running stride for stride, but at the same time, not letting him get past you and stack you on the outside. Forcing him out towards the sideline, and an incompletion. And again, if this ball was thrown perfectly, this probably isn't a catch, even though Dotson has some of those wild catches. So maybe it is. But at the end of the day, this is a really good rep versus Roger McCreary. Those are the things that, you can hang your hat on if he wants to say, hey, I want to play outside. Next rep, good stuff by Dotson. No target here. Let it play. So again, McCreary playing off. I think this is good on both these cats. So, Dotson's showing inside, and it's kind of like this up dig route. Dawson does a good job selling this route vertically. Like, he's getting vertical. This is this is a former 4 verts or something, which gets McCreary from, if this route just turns into a crosser right here, McCreary is closing this gap. But because he sells this route vertical, one, McCreary has to slow down and then square his hips, so if it's going to be out or up. And then Dawson, bam, flips the hips, and now we're running, and you got nice, good separation. And the ball could be his way, although Penn State's offensive line's bad and their quarterback's bad as well. Doesn't get the target here, but this is a good win. Next rep, we got him here in motion. Out and up. Again, inconsequential rep. And again, this is like, why are you putting this rep in? I put every single one of their man coverage one-on reps or cover 3 match reps. But good job of you see the out. I think McCreary gives a little too cushion, but some of that is scheme as well. Here he's going to press up. This safety on this play screws this up, by the way. Leaves the tight end wide open down the seams. But with McCreary versus Dotson, forces outside. Again, like that second rep, eyes on him. We're there. We're forcing him to the sideline. Good rep, even though Auburn gives up a big play. Next rep, we are lined up top up here. Dotson running a curl. Kind of a... I'm viewing this route as not maybe he's probably not going to be a target. He's just kind of a distraction because of how wide his alignment is, how close he is to the sideline. But again, McCreary playing with an inside Shane, not going to let him get inside leverage. Bam, we're there. Now Dotson has a good break on this and turns on if the ball did come his way, even though he's out of bounds. But McCreary knows, like, hey, he can't stop right here because he's on the sideline. So overall, good rep by McCreary on that one. A win for McCreary, although not the biggest of wins. We got a motioned out here. What do we got on this one? Oh, just a speed out. Really good job rallying by McCreary on this. Again, he's playing off, covers that scheme, not Roger McCreary deciding to play 10 yards off. I'm not an expert in cornerback play, but maybe we're not so quick to get into that backpedal. I know you got to take your drop step. But, hey. Ball is coming out of his hand. McCreary's breaking. Gather, get that tackle. You get a tackle for a loss on the books. You give up a catch, -1 yard. So again, is this a Dawson issue? Absolutely not. Dawson does his job, but McCreary does his job better. On this one, what do we got up here? This is a really good route by Dotson. Just a bad throw. Bad throw by the quarterback. Running a whip route, which is essentially you're selling a slant and then whipping outside. I mean, really sells this. You got McCreary over-committing to this. Bam, pop out. I mean, you're wide open. This is 1st and 10, too. So it's not like it's 3rd and 10 where you're just trying to keep them in front of you. Auburn sending a blitz. You got man coverage across the board with a double, with these two right here. He gets this ball put on him, and this is a first down. This is an easy first down. And again, it's probably a first down anyways because McCreary's playing off. But good job on Dotson really selling that. Really selling that, and then bam, pop it out. So, does he get a catch on that? No, but he does his job. This is Dotson for a guy who, again, who I think might need to move to the slot, is really a red zone threat. Like, he makes plays in the red zone, and Penn State gets an easy touchdown here to the tight end, but this could have been a touchdown for Jahan Dotson if they covered up this tight end in the flat. So you got McCreary right here lined up outside. I mean, this is beautiful. Sells inside. One, McCreary's already playing that outside leverage. But gets McCreary to bam. Look at that right foot is stepping. Bam, we're popping out. We got separation. That's the type of separation you get in the red zone. Okay, so if this is covered out in the flats, this QB should have a fairly easy throw. Put it right here, let your guy Dotson get it, and Dotson can go out and extend for it too, so you can put it outside the numbers too. So, like, one of the better reps on this, but again, it's a touchdown to a wide open tight end in the flat. Before we get into these last few routes, this breakdown was brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek's the best ticketing app in the entire world, baby. I use it all the time. They've got great deal scores 1 through 10. They got their green-red map. I use it all the time. Like if I went to an Orlando City Lions game the other day. Green means good, red means bad. You just go around the sections, like, okay, there it is there. All right, let me find a decent section, but I want to find the best ticket in this section. SeatGeek does that, and you can use promo code GIANTS for $20 off your first order. So if you don't take advantage of this, you're pretty dumb. And if your team doesn't draft Jahan Dotson or Roger McCreary, they might be pretty dumb too. So don't be like your team if they didn't draft them. Be smart like your team if they did draft one of these two guys. So again, that's promo code GIANTS for $20 off your first order. SeatGeek. Bam. All right, last 2 reps. We got an RPO here. Again, I think this is a lot of scheme related, but I would like to have McCreary pressed up down here on Dotson. But he's also given up a lot of cushion on this, and it's an easy slant and catch. Now, good job on Dotson. You see, he really sells that he's getting vertical. He doesn't telegraph where this route is breaking. Now, part of this is scheme on the Auburn defense, because if these guys don't bite up on play action, they're right here in this hole. So, nothing to write home about. But again, doing a good job. And then look at Dotson. Dotson makes some spectacular catches. I mean, this is out there. For him to keep this, catch this out in stride. I mean, good stuff from Dotson. Again, I've seen him, for a guy who's smaller, I've seen him make some just fantastic, some one-handed, some leapers over on crossers. So just some really good stuff. So Dotson's just a guy you can really trust. And then this final route. Again, Dotson has a really hard time stacking, getting up on top of these corners. Tries to do a stop and go. Bam, McCreary's there. Doesn't overcommit on it, and then bam, he's going back out. Right in there. Right in there. That's what you want. Forcing outside leverage. Forcing outside leverage. So again, two very interesting players. Two players who may go in the first round, probably in the second round. Two guys who might have to move positions. I like McCreary more when he's pressed up. They didn't press him up a ton in this game, especially when going against Dotson. But interesting matchup. It's always fun to see the guys go against each other, and I think this is a case of like, hey, both guys can come away from this feeling well. If you're Dotson, you're like, well, I should have gotten the ball thrown to me a little more. And if you're McCreary, it's like, this guy was never able to get past me and stack him, and the catches that I gave up were reverse him off coverage. So if you like the channel, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out other film breakdowns. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.